So, welcome to the first module in your mediumship development journey. We're going to introduce the topic of mediumship, and I'm going to show you the three types of mediumship that exist and where you might actually sit in that mediumship journey. Just know that mediumship is a constant evolution, it is an unfoldment, and it is a lifelong dedication to service. So, mediumship is a call to service that heals through the power of love, both the seen and unseen worlds. So, let's unpack that a little and understand what this statement means. So, mediumship is a call to service, which means your soul already knew from the moment it was born into this earthly body that you were going to be a medium. It was already there as a kernel of knowledge. And at some point, that kernel has ignited a spark in your soul that has prompted you to come here and to learn about mediumship. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Know that you are a healer because mediumship is a healing modality. So you heal not only the bereaved that are in front of you, the people that have lost their loved ones, but you are also healing the spirit world. You are giving them voice and you are allowing spirit to express all those things that they haven't been able to express, to have those conversations that they thought about but didn't get a chance to have, and to say those sorries, to say those goodbyes, and to give words of encouragement. And all this is possible because you, as a medium that you are, an emerging medium, has said yes. You have raised your hand and you've said yes to spirit and you've said yes to yourself. So let's dive in and let's understand what mediumship is. So, mediumship on a mechanical level is the process of linking to spirit. So, all the steps and all the things that need to take place so that you are able to communicate with spirit. It is a healing modality, as I've said before. And also, it has two requirements. The first is that you must categorically show through evidential proof that you have who you say you have with you from the spirit world. And the second part of mediumship is that you are providing comfort through those inspired messages to your sitter, the person having the reading in front of you. So we are demonstrating as mediums proof of survival, that the soul lives on, and because the soul lives on, love lives on. So let's understand now what the three pillars of mediumship are. If we were going to unpack mediumship as a whole, as an umbrella, then there are three pathways of mediumship that are open to you. And often you might sit across one or more of these pathways. The first pathway is the mental mediumship. So, mental meaning we're using the mind. So, we're using the mind faculties and we're connecting to spirit through our minds and we're communicating information. The second pillar of mediumship is healing. So, we are connecting to spirit healers and they are using ourselves as a conduit, as a medium, as a channel for healing. And we are performing what's called trance healing or spiritual healings. And the final pillar is the philosophy, and that is for the teaching mediums, the mediums that are here to spread inspired messages that are universal in nature, that apply to all people, irrespective of age, gender, race, or culture. So there's three pillars. More often than not, we sit in more than one pillar. But often we choose one and then we choose to specialize in that. And I wanted to plant the seed here and get you thinking a little more broadly than just the messages. Know that there is many facets to mediumship. Know that mediumship is a lifelong dedication and a lifelong journey of unfoldment. So let's dig a little deeper into each one of these and so we can understand them further. The first one we're going to look at is mental mediumship. So like I said, it's using the mind, it's using the mental faculties. So mental mediumship is when the medium links to spirit, then verifies the spirit's identity through evidential information that is received from that spirit communicator. And then once we've verified the identity, then we pass on inspired messages or information that that spirit communicator wishes to pass on to their sitter and to other loved ones in their family. It is not predictive, okay? So mediumship is not a predictive modality. That is what psychic readings are about. Mediumship is all about the messages, but no future outcomes are given. And often some people, and this is purely a lack of education, the sitters will come and they will want their loved ones in the spirit world to give them information about important life decisions. And what we need to be able to say to those people as mediums are, if you were going to trust your loved one, if they were living, to give you that information, then certainly by all means follow their advice. But if you weren't going to trust them with information while they're living, don't think just because they've gone to the spirit world that they're going to have magical, insightful, or predictive powers. That just is not how it works. All right. And I want to make that clear. Mediumship is not about predictions. It is not about psychic future outcomes. It is about verifying the identity. It's bringing comfort and healing to the bereaved, and then bringing inspired messages of support, love, and hope. So there is often, when we do link to spirit, more than one spirit communicator present. So as our development grows, we need to get used to looking for who else comes with that first spirit communicator. They never come alone. There is always other family members that are there in the spirit world supporting and lending their energy and power to the communication. Readings may be given in private settings. So when you go and visit a medium in their own home or home office or other office, professional office, and you are there only with the medium in front of you. And mediumship can also be demonstrated publicly in churches, in halls, and event venues around. So a lot of mediums will only do one or the other. Quite often there are mediums that do both. Just something to think about there. So that is the mental mediumship. In the healing mediumship, mediumship can also be channeled for the purposes of healing. And this is when the medium links to the spirit healers and channels healing energy to the recipient. This linking process varies from something that is called a light trance state all the way to a deep trance state. And healing is performed either hands-on, where we're just standing behind the recipient and putting hands on the shoulders, or we can do it hands off as well. So it's whatever is comfortable for you as a medium and what is comfortable for the recipient. Healing can also be given to either one person, so one-on-one healing, or the healing medium can pass on healing to a group situation. And there is no limitation on how many people that you can heal in any one time, because the healing energies transcend time and space. So don't limit yourself. It can also be given in person, of course, so if the people are in front of you, or you can send healing remotely. You might send it to another part of the world or another part of the day. Note also that if you are doing it in person or on Zoom, that your eyes are also healing and can transmit healing energies. So something to just think about. So that is how the healing works. And that is a whole module in itself, but it's here for information purposes. The following modules that move forward are going to be all about the mind, the mental mediumship. But I wanted to flag this here so that you can understand that there's more than just giving messages as a healing. We can actually transmit energy as well. So moving forward, the next and the final pillar of mediumship is the philosophy mediumship, or the philosophical mediumship. So what does that really mean? It means that spirit will link to the medium and inspired messages of wisdom, knowledge, or philosophy are received and then passed on to the recipients. So there's many examples of this around the world. It's channeled messages is another way of actually saying it. So these messages can be given in various ways or received in various ways. One is through inspired speaking. So this is when the spirit inspirers in the spirit world are linking to the medium. The medium is talking in their own messaging in their own voice, but it's like spirit is influencing the thoughts and the words that come there. Another way is through what we call trance speaking, where spirit speaks as if they were sitting in front of you in the first person and they are using the medium as a channel, right? So let me be clear here that spirit doesn't knock you out of your body. You don't become entranced. You are in full control, but you, the personality of the medium, diminishes. You move to the back of your mind and your spirit guide moves in front and speaks as if they are sitting in your seat. And that's what we call trance speaking. There's another modality or part of this called independent voice. It's a part of the physical medium phenomena. I'm including it here for information purposes. It is a very rare gift in modern times, but there has been a lot of historical mediums that have done independent voice, and Leslie Flint is one that comes to mind that you can look up. Independent voice is when the medium would sit in low light or red light conditions in a cabinet. They usually would have their mouth bound or gagged, and they're tied into a seat so that it eliminates any thought of fraudulent activity. Then spirit will create an independent voice box, so a voice box that hangs out to the side of the medium that is made from ectoplasm, which is a substance that comes from our biology. And then that voice box is actually speaking. So it's part of what we call physical phenomena. Very rare gift, but I've put it here so that you can also understand it for inclusion purposes, just to ensure that you understand how this works. There's various other ways of receiving information: inspired writing or typing. This is often called automatic writing in error. So it's not truly automatic writing. What most people call automatic writing is in fact inspired writing or typing, that the medium writes words of wisdom or inspiration that is influenced by spirit, including their own spirit, so their higher self, if you will. And finally, true automatic writing is when the medium's hand is moved independently of the medium and without the medium understanding or being present to what is being written until that process has finished. So they're all the ways that we receive independent writing, and they're all the ways that we receive philosophy through spirit. So let's move on and recap what we've learned so far. So mediumship is the process of channeling information between the spirit world and our world. Mediumship must be evidential in nature. We must have evidence of who we say we've got. Mediumship is not predictive. That is psychic reading. So mediumship must never be a predictive modality. And there are three pillars of mediumship here. One is the messages, so mental mediumship. The second is the healing, so providing energetic healing to people that are in front of us or remotely. And the third is the philosophy, which is providing words of wisdom that are channeled and that have universal themes that transcend culture and race and gender and all the other things that separate us as mankind.